The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kane's emotional reunion with Lily finally makes things right. Lane reunited? Inside Kane and Lily's emotional showdown and the road to redemption in Genoa City. Genoa City has never been a place for the faint of heart, but even by its standards, the path to true love has rarely felt as treacherous or as deeply deserved as the journey of Kane Ashby and Lily Winters. For months, fans of The Young and the Restless have watched the on-again, off-again couple navigate a minefield of betrayal, corporate warfare, and heart-wrenching miscommunication. But according to the latest spoilers and a major casting tease, the tides are finally turning. After a kiss that reignited years of history and a family crisis that put everything into perspective, Kane is on the verge of making things right with Lily in a reunion that promises to be the most emotional moment of the season. To understand the weight of this impending reunion, one must look back at the arduous journey that defined 2025. When Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, rolled back into town, he was a man on a mission: win back his ex-wife. But Lily, Crystal Calloway, who has evolved into a stronger, more self-assured woman, was having none of it. She had spent years rebuilding her life and protecting her emotional boundaries, and Kane's return threatened to destabilize the peace she had fought so hard to achieve. The rejection was swift and consistent. In one particularly poignant scene in early January, Kane approached Lily with a simple rose, a symbol of their romantic past. Lily, seeing the gesture for what it was, a beautiful illusion, shut him down completely. "I am not going to change my mind, and I'm also not going to sit around while you try to work your way into my heart," she proclaimed, "because I know it's not real. It's an illusion, just like Aristotle Dumas," she added, referencing the alias Kane used while amassing his fortune. She walked away, leaving Kane and the rose behind. It was a clear message. Nostalgia wasn't enough. To make matters worse, a rejected and desperate Kane found himself entangled with the town's resident wildcard, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. In a moment of weakness and strategic plotting, the two shared a kiss, a sight that Lily unfortunately witnessed, further cementing her belief that Kane hadn't changed at all. For Lily, it was proof that his promises of devotion were just words. For Kane, it was a mistake that pushed the woman he loved further away. The crisis that changed everything. However, soap operas have a way of using crisis as a catalyst, and for Kane and Lily, that catalyst arrived in the form of Victor Newman, Eric Bredon. In a classic Magnificent Mustache power play, Victor found himself locked in a corporate war with Kane over Newman Enterprises. When Kane managed to wrestle control away from Victor, the veteran mogul played his ultimate card. He made Lily and the twins disappear. The kidnapping changed the stakes entirely. Suddenly, Kane wasn't just fighting for a second chance at love. He was fighting for his family's very lives. This shifted his perspective in a profound way. During a tense confrontation with Phyllis on the Kane train, he dropped his guard completely. "You never stopped loving Lily," Phyllis realized, understanding the depth of his anguish. Kane, visibly choked up, admitted the truth. He confessed that the only time he had ever felt whole was when they were together as a family. "There is no amount of power that is worth losing love," he told her. "Is there, Phyllis?" It was a moment of raw vulnerability that signaled a major turning point for the character. Actor Billy Flynn hinted at this shift, noting that Kane's journey forward is less about grand romantic gestures and more about restraint and realization. The emotional reunion, finally making things right. This brings us to the week of March 9, 2026, the week that Lane fans have been waiting for. According to exclusive spoilers, Kane will finally have the opportunity to make amends with Lily. With the kidnapping crisis resolved, thanks to Kane's desperate willingness to sacrifice everything, including the company, to get his family back, the emotional fallout takes center stage. This reunion won't be a simple, sweeping embrace. It will be a quiet, loaded, and deeply emotional reckoning. Lily, who has spent months building walls to protect herself, will have to decide whether to let them crumble. Kane, who has spent months trying to prove he's worthy, will have to show her, not just tell her, that he has changed. The emotional reunion spoilers suggest that Kane finally makes things right. But what does that look like? For Kane, it means admitting that his pursuit of power and revenge was a poor substitute for the love he lost. It means acknowledging the pain he caused, not just with the Aristotle Dumas scheme, but with every misstep that led to their divorce. For Lily, it means being vulnerable enough to trust again. The kiss they shared earlier in the year was a spark, but this reunion is about building a fire that can withstand the cold winds of Genoa City. What this means for Genoa City: a reconciled Lane doesn't just affect the two of them, it sends ripples throughout Genoa City. For Devon, Britton James, and Abby, Melissa Ordway, who have been frantic with worry over Lily, seeing their sister happy will be a massive relief. For the Newman family, it represents a potential thaw in the icy war that has consumed them. Victor may have lost the company battle, but if Kane walks away from the corporate chaos to focus on his family, the mustache might just consider it a win. Furthermore, this reunion puts a definitive end to the Kane-Phyllis alliance. Phyllis, ever the survivor, will likely pivot to her next scheme, but she'll do so knowing that she was merely a placeholder in Kane's heart. As Billy Flynn noted, the future of Kane and Lily depends less on passion and more on patience. As the week of March 9th unfolds, all eyes will be on this super couple. Will they be able to navigate the complexities of forgiveness? Can two people who have hurt each other so deeply find a way to heal together? If their history is any indication, the road ahead will still have its bumps. But for the first time in a long time, that road is leading them home.